Anyway, I'm playing as the Psycho. Gosh, I think we already went over this a little bit. Playing as Psycho, a lot of his abilities, he gets really powerful the closer he is to death. It's hard to kind of, I guess, not die with him, at least early game. I haven't successfully made a Psycho anywhere near end game, honestly, probably not even really mid game. I've tried a few different little specs here and there. I don't really know what I'm going to do. I definitely know I'm not going to go down the fire one on this one just because, well, setting yourself on fire constantly sounds to be more of a, problem than a solution. But, yeah, so hopefully this will work out pretty good for us.
We're hoping.
$1,000,000! Alright, folks, this is Captain Flint. I want you to find that Vault Hunter and bring him to me now!
Oh, you son of a... You just had to go shooting right when I was lining up that headshot so he'd stand up.
I'm sorry you're bad at hitting a moving target.
He totally just Pele kicked that ammo that came out of him.
Okay, I'll show you how to do headshots. Hold on. I missed. Get out of my way, fence. Missed again.
Parkour.
Got a proposition for you, Vault Hunter. You give up, we'll just shoot you in the head. Clean, and a hell of a lot less painful than what Handsome Jack. Oh, look at him! Bullymong!
Damn. Oh, that's what's doing it. Hello, Mr. Bullymong.
Really, the shotgun's not bad for this level as far as damage. It's just you get one shot.
Yep.
That's my minion to save for town. You want to do your best to claptrap a favor and repair my eye?
Yes, I suppose I am in your debt now, aren't I? Come to my shack and I shall restore Claptrap's sight. First, I shall shut off the electrical fence for you.
Sure you will.
Please stay back, Vault Hunter. Let Claptrap go first.
I knew Hammerlock would come around eventually. Me and him were like two peas in a pod. 2 points in a bag.
Is my audio still too loud, or is it still good?
It's not bad. Like, I don't think it'll matter by the time it's said and done.
Speaks, I feel my brain cells committing suicide one by one.
That's a pretty definitive statement about how annoying an individual is. When they merely speak, you feel your brain cells committing suicide one by one.
You, Vault Hunter. I am Sir Hammerlock.
We have a few friends that way.
Yeah.
At your service.
Oddly, they have the same name.
Search the bullymongs for my almanac. Captain Flint's men trapped me on this glacier. Many thanks for disposing of them, by the way. To survive a direct run-in with Handsome Jack and defeat Captain Flint's bandits.
Why do you say I have never ran into Handsome Jack? Jesus. Why is that always such a weird...
I don't know why you obsess over it that much.
But just because.
You just obsess over it.
We ran into like a screwed together like Pinocchio looking thing that explodes that kind of resembled Handsome Jack.
Oh, I thought he just put a Handsome Jack face on the guy that was driving the train and then...
I don't know, you see like screws and stuff sticking out of him.
I am alive!
Oh great, he's talking again.
Minion! Now I've got my eyesight back! And you're far earlier than I remembered! Time
Thank
to
you.
join up with the Crips and Raiders in Sanctuary! This place is full of nothing but murderers or jerkbags, like that Hammerlock dude!
I'm standing right here,
Dude.
Now that Liarsburg is cleared, I might as well turn on the main power. This town's full of things that may be of use to a go-getting slayer of men like yourself.
Minion, roll out!
You're not Optimus Prime. You don't tell me to roll out.
Charming fellow, isn't he? Spouts drivel about bringing peace to the frontier, then shoots unarmed men, women, and children like it was going out of style. Ah, I'm spouting exposition again, aren't I? Apologies! Ah, there you are. come on, work, curse you! Ah, fecal matter. The bounty board's broken.
Yeah,
The systems must have disconnected it.
That's a word for poop.
it is a word for poop.
I went ahead and said it because that was going to come out of Steven's face hole next. I eat that poop.
Let's see.
That's one area free with bullymongs. This would be an even greater achievement if anyone in Liarsburg was still alive to celebrate your victory, but still, well done.
You gotta love Hammerlock. He makes you feel so great for doing things that are honestly so mundane. He is the best spunky British man I've ever met.
Until you get to his DLC.
Even then, he wasn't bad. That DLC is just not the best in the world.
It's long. It's arduous. Lots of savages. No real quest line to it.
At least not in the strictest of senses.
I mean, I understand it's supposed to be a hunting expedition, but Jesus.
Yeah.
Most efficacious. Bullymongs will think twice about raiding peaceful cities in the future. Hopefully.
They totally don't.
Yeah, they're kind of savage. Yeti-esque monsters, like Yeti monkey-esque monsters. I don't think they really.
They're monkey predators. Just call them what they are. Monkey predators.
It's true, foreign monkey predators.
I mean, they don't go invisible, but them jaws.
Yeah, that's why I was like, what's he talking about? It's like, oh, the jaws. Got it. Got it.
Here you go, sir dude.
Please make Captain Flint's death as prolonged as possible,
Sir
would you?
dude.
If you're to survive out here for any length of time, you'll need a better shield. I humbly
That's true,
suggest
I will need a
you
better
to the
shield.
old Crimson Raider safe house. You'll need to take the elevator up there.
Okay.
Can-doozers.
Can-doozers, man.
This one's for you. You can go shoot those guys. It is satisfying to snipe.
I enjoy that.
Okay, so there's this little
We've
quest.
hijacked the train that runs through the dust. If all goes well, we should get to Sanctuary in a day's time. Hyperion hasn't diverted any troops from New Haven to pursue us, and a sandstorm has devoured their nearest frontier town. We just need... Oh, damn it!
We just need. Oh, damn it!
You've discovered one of Helena Pierce's audio logs. She was a lieutenant in the Crimson Raiders, the anti-Hyperion resistance. I'd be very interested to know what became of
The
her. If you could find the
anti-Hyperion
rest of
resistance.
those audio logs, I would be
Hey,
more
look,
than
I'll
happy
give
to
you a hint. She does. Just like everyone else who thought they could cross Jack.
Oh god. Could be in Pro Jack. Even though he is arguably probably one of my favorite villains in a video game.
Of course, I forgot.
Yeah.
The safe house power box stopped working.
And he's not even just like overly evil. He
Integrate.
gives no damns.
He is overly sarcastic.
Yeah, but that's what makes him great.
And ignore what he said about that power box.
It integrated with it.
Integrated.
Sir, I don't suggest backing up anymore.
There's a fuse on the other side of that electric fence. Just
Oh no, not that retro fence.
You know, this is bad. The first time I played this, I actually listened to him.
It is pretty bad, actually.
Well, I mean, he had no reason to lie to me.
You know, Claptrap's a bit of a clusterfuck, to say the least.
Now I do.
Oh yeah, because you didn't.
Didn't play the first Borderlands that much. I don't even think I met Claptrap in the first Borderlands. We got a melee him.
Crap.
You're not stopping me.
Totally got that quest, didn't we?
I'm pretty. Did we not?
Pretty sure we did.
It's a bad, bad flesh rip that leaves you screaming.
Jesus.
Yeah, you got it.
It is the habit of a gentleman, and yet it's missing something, some je ne sais quoi. I think some bullymong fur might do the trick if you could really use it. You should be scared. Bullymong fur, and you need to rip it from their hides with your bare hands. Just weaken a bullymong with gunfire, then finish him off with fisticuffs. The bullymong is injured. Now deliver the cook a stunning riposte. Now collect the fur. In addition to making this spectacular hat decoration, I shall stun the fur for my almanac, from the creatures of Pandora.
Buddy. Pal. Friend.
Uh-oh.
Guy.
Where'd you go down?
Right, I was... There you go.
Stop it! Stop it! I need to feel it all! You've weakened that bullymong. Now give him a mighty blow with your melee weapon and take his fur.
Okay.
Are you collecting bullymong fur? So, Hammerlock.
Wonderful, you've gotten all the fur I need.
Actually, we have some extra. Turn it to both of you.
Screw that noise.
Not
Use the
enough.
fur, and I'll give you a shotgun.
Shoots the gun.
Got the elevator working, have you? Great. Now simply ascend to the safe house and buy
Yay! A
Yeah.
distance until everyone heard
That
the
means,
Hyperion army approaching and fled to sanctuary.
Nah.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. In here.
Hope you've had your shots.
Well done.
Yes.
Now, if you could return to Liarsburg, we could see about getting you off this frigid glacier.
Glacier.
Anytime.
He's so proper.
Tis frigid. Now, do you want to know how to get to that vault symbol and stuff over here?
Yeah. Where are you at? Are you still in there?
Right
Went
here.
out the, yeah, went out the back. Parkour, Steven. Ah! Goodness. Wow, that is pretty secret.
And then here's the vault symbol on the ground.
Wow, wow, wow.
This, boys and girls, when we first learned, there's no fall damage in the game.
Yeah.
Whee!
It is one of the best side effects of the game, is it? Or, well, best mechanics of the game. You can jump off of really high things and usually not die.
You actually get a quest to do it later on. Well, a couple quests, but one actually is meant to kill you.
It is pretty good, that one.
But you're helping Brick from the first Borderlands on a quest later on, or actually quite later on in the game, and he literally tells you to jump off the tower, and then he's thoroughly impressed that he jumped off the tower.
Maybe shocked and awed at our overall stupidity.
You are a true badass.
A trillion thanks, Vault Hunter. You've helped a foolish old man look far more badass than he deserves.
I'd believe it.
I'm referring to myself. Would you like to do battle with a midget riding piggyback on a boat?
I mean, his hat does look way better.
Yes, please proceed to the southern shelf and defeat Midgemong for me. If the answer is no, you are sad and I have no desire to speak with you further.
Actually, I think that's my favorite line of like questioning to text ever. Do you have a desire to battle a midget riding piggyback on a bullymong? If so, I have a question for you. If not, I have no further desire to talk to you.
You're a sad individual.
I would, but you know. But
Probably all die.
this is kind of like a tangent that we sort of discussed in detail with each other. Oh, we still have to do the audio logs, don't we? Yeah. Anyway, this is a sort of a tangent we've discussed between ourselves. That we really think Borderlands, in particular, is like one of the best franchises so far, succeeding merging the MMO and like FPS genre, which all of you guys sort of know the mechanics and different things that go into that. Because a lot of the other games that I've played that claim to be like first-person RPGs, it feels like the RPG side of things, like stats and talents and stuff, is sort of an afterthought. That really, in the end, doesn't make a big difference on how the game plays.
What is the meaning of this?
I'm sorry, what was your name?
Pierce.
Yeah.
Miss Pierce. And
I'd say honestly, one that I was actually kind of disappointed in was
So why don't you turn around and
can't even remember the name of the game.
This train was commandeered
TV show, game together with it. No.
No, not Dishonored,
Defiance.
Defiance, there we go.
Yeah, Defiance. Overall, not a horrible game. It's just it felt like absolutely none of your talent tree points or anything really affected much of anything. But past like the one of 4 skills you chose at the beginning, never really seemed to change how I played the game. So, whereas this one, I mean, yes, essentially every single character does the same thing in a very base sense. They all shoot things with guns. But each character has their own style, and then on top of that, each spec in that character can change it. For instance, being Cripple here, we both went through a playthrough being Necromancers, and we were completely different from one or the other. Like, if somebody just past actual appearance, if somebody just saw us play the game, they would have no idea we were the same class.
Oh,
Right.
you know what? I am so sorry. I just forgive me.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
He's dead.
That is a heartbreaker. But you got something in common with him now, at least.
She does.
Yeah, I mean, undeniably he's a jackass, but it's just how
You
funny.
love to hate him.
Yeah, how funny he is about it through the majority of the game. It's just great.
Crap. Did you see your head? We'll help kill these savages.
Understood. See that.
I really am excited about the pre-sequel. I want to play all 4 of the characters so bad, and I really just can't make up which one I want to play first.
Yeah, I mean, that's coming out in October. It's gonna be good. Like, we're doing new Borderlands, and like I said, I think I looked the other day, told Steven. Granted, there are probably several bathroom breaks in this time figure on Steam, but it says I played Borderlands 2 for 160 hours. The most that's probably been in the past 3 weeks to a month since me and Steven been playing together.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of try to do a little bit of single player, which is not bad to do single player. It's still very fun even when you're not by yourself. I do think having at least one other person definitely adds to the game. But with my single player characters and everything, I think I've reached like 215 hours playing it. So it can be a very enjoyable game.
And even for us, it's still enjoyable to play, even though technically for us this will be the third time going through the story. It's still really fun, and Gearbox did a really good job of balancing the funny moments with like the serious moments, and really like making you connect with characters. And like later on in the game, you'll get to meet one of our favorite NPCs, Tiny Tina, and we just get a big old shit-eating grin on our faces every time we get to that point, because we both know when we're right about there. and we love Tiny Tina. Which I can't think of anyone that would play this game that at their core would hate Tiny Tina. And if you do, I'll say it, you don't have a soul, and you should just uninstall the game. That's right, I said it. I'm being that elitist asshole. Just log out and friggin' uninstall the game.
Come on now, Hugabutt.
Hugabutt, it's true. It's true. If you don't like Tiny Tina, just uninstall the game. But like I said, it's like I will say, and you guys feel free to make up your own opinions after you watch this, or if you watch a couple episodes of this and do your own playthrough. That the main storyline is really good, and then it's kind of nice that almost all the DLCs, Gearbox constantly stepped up their game and gave you just a really great story. Because I didn't beat this when it first came out, and the first time I actually beat it all the way through was with Steven the first time on our Gunzerker and
My flesh is forever.
and his Commando. But the main story is great, and the stories for all the DLCs are really good, except for, in my opinion, and Steven's, Sir Hammerlock's dropped the ball. But Captain Scarlet's Captain Scarlet, that one's really good.
Captain Scarlet's in the pirate's booty.
Well, I'll say Captain Scarlet's is good. Torg's is really good, and Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep is just wonderful.
Like even if you take out the whole we are just enthralled by everything Tiny Tina says, like it's scripture,
it is.
it would still just be an absolute amazing DLC. I mean, it has length to it, it has challenge to it, it has comedy, great story behind it. Because essentially, what it is if you've never played the game before, you can start Tiny Tina's at level 30. I don't actually suggest doing it until you beat the main storyline, because essentially the storyline in Tiny Tina's is you were playing a Bunkers and Badasses, which is a kind of
D&D.
Yeah, Dungeons and Dragons, and it essentially tells you, she plays out the story like she encountered it in the game.
Yeah, and it's basically the whole main story sort of retold with D&D and things like that. I mean, some of the stuff obviously didn't happen, but it's great. But yeah, that's the thing with the DLCs. I will tell you, if you haven't played it, and we try not to spoil anything if we can help it, the DLCs pretty much tell you the end of the story, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I knew how it ended anyway, so I didn't really care. But if you're one of those people, spoilers and everything, then you probably want to play through the main story before you do any of the deal. I don't know, you might could do Captain Scarlet's, but I don't think it really says anything about the main story.
Not a whole lot, no.
But the other three bring it up constantly, so bear that in mind.
Action skill.
Yep. See, there's that, and I'll go over here. Okay. But and then this is my opinion too. I think, like, honestly, by the time it's said and done, the DLC stories will probably overshadow the main storyline as far as enjoyment.
Yeah.
But all of it is really good, and like I was trying to say before, it's really good to see that 3 out of 4 Gearbox really stepped it up with a great, enjoyable story from the main story through all the DLCs, and I guess the main chunk of the Sir Hammerlock's story isn't actually that. I mean, it's not really eventful, but it's pretty fun. But one of our problems with it, we'll just go ahead and cover, is a lot of the quests, well, tell you where to go, I guess, sort of, but like a lot of them in the beginning are very vague. And one such quest is like you're on I guess an epic hunt, and they don't tell you where the...
Yeah, not even like a general location, like, hey, these could be in this area. It's just like, figure it out.
Yeah, those pop up whenever they pop up. And that was really annoying. And, like I said, our other...
Which, I mean, ultimately, I mean, I'm sure there are people who put out videos out there, like, you know, if you go here, increase the, you know, you have a much higher chance of finding this, and so on and so forth, just for that quest. So it's still not really that hard. It's just with like, I guess our biggest problem with is we waited. That was the last DLC we did. So after the excitement of Torgs and the pirates and D&D and all this stuff, and then you just get thrown into this vague, not very story driven, just go find some things and kill it. It kind of harshes your mellow, man.
Yeah, it's kind of like being on cloud 9 and then, you know,
someone kicking you in the nads.
Yeah, it's...
But I mean, ultimately, I mean, as far as play, like with our second characters, we did do that one first because we were like, we're just gonna get this one out of the way, and it honestly was nowhere near as bad the second time. It was more of a challenge just because we weren't as high level. We actually got some gear upgrades here and there, whereas the first time we got no gear upgrades. Wasn't too bad hard of a challenge, and it was just kind of like clubbing baby seals repetitively.
Yeah, because you out level it, which will, you know, and another reason to do the main story over the other DLCs is if you do like we did the first time and do your DLCs, you know, willy nilly when you want to, you out level the main story pretty bad, and then you just come back and just walk all over everything.
And you have to murder not Torg bots a lot.
Yeah. Not Torg bots, they are not.
Yeah.
Like I said, well worth the money that it's cost now to play the game. If you don't have it, for $20, I think, or $24 for the Game of the Year edition with all the major DLCs and the one level cap lift, it's great. Cause there are other DLCs that,
from the best I can see them, they're just very like quick, like a few missions here or there, just kind of like I guess more events than really downloadable content. Like they have like a Halloween one where, you know, you gotta save somebody from what it looks like killing people. I don't.
yeah, I mean they are DLCs, but I don't think they're any main story driven.
No, don't do it!
It's just to add more quests to help you level, and honestly, leveling's not a problem.
Open your veins!
And this sniper rifle takes forever to reload.
I will murder your death.
Get back up on your feet.
Yeah, man. You can tell this man no. And also, in case anybody hasn't seen it, me as the psycho, I'm just an extremely ripped person. Just, I honestly believe beyond human capability.
He was determined. Okay. Now let me quit. Thank you. But yeah, the psycho was one of the characters added later. Because technically the Necromancer you didn't get with the base game, but came out when the game was released. And
it was still a good distance after. I mean, it was.
I thought she came out with the pre-order.
No. It was a couple months after the game came out that you got the Necromancer.
Oh, I thought it was part of the pre-order.
Nah.
Maybe I may be wrong. Wouldn't be the first time. But Krieger or I think it's Krieg. We call him Krieg here. We watch way too much Archer. Yeah, if you guys hadn't seen it, you need to go see his cinematic for his release. It's really great. But basically, he's batshit crazy to an extent, but he has an intelligent inner voice that talks to him, and it makes you want to play a psycho.
Yeah, it really does. Oh, God.
But I will say this, to heads up, they missed a great opportunity because what he says on Steven's end is not always what he says on my end. But they miss a chance when you play as him give you the intelligent voice when you say things, while everybody else hears the mindless insanity that is a psycho.
Yeah, that really would just be absolutely great. Just sitting there, and to me, I just said, all right, I'm helping you out, buddy, don't worry about it. And then I'm like there, and it's like, I'm gonna salt all your wounds!
No, the worst one's when he growls and goes, don't worry, it's a good touch. And I'm like,
Grind, kill!
this man needs to step away from me right now. I'm just saying it.
Well, when I think about it, I think bullymongs are probably not the appropriate thing to run at with a buzzsaw. Oh, damn.
You in my liver.
Sir.
You can't stop me. There's no barbecue till I say there's a barbecue.
Ow. Well,
You're doing swimmingly.
very swimmingly. Please don't hit me, please don't hit me, please don't hit me. Ow, he hit me.
My pecs have pecs.
My pecs have pecs.
It's true, his pecs do have pecs. Piston might be my father. Fish. Taco.
Pinion taco in the glove box.
There's one now. And I think that is secretly our second favorite NPC.
Yeah, Scooter.
He's the best. Alright, now, so I'm not going to go down Hellborn because that is setting myself on fire constantly. I gotta do it. I want to go down Bloodthirst or Mania.
Honestly, no, that's totally up to you. I'm going to go sniper unless it gets to the point that, like, having to shoot at things while you aggro them gets to be too much. Because, like, I'll start lining up a shot, and as soon as you get so close, they'll, like, step to the left a little bit to attack you. I was like, oh my god.
I think I'm going to try Bloodlust because it gives me some damage reduction type things and stuff like that, so that could be pretty nice.
Hurt myself tank, that just seems like a great idea.
Well, every tree I hurt myself. It's just inevitable.
It's true. That's the one thing he has struggled with the most, trying to muster up the courage to play one, is finding the spec. Like other characters, it's sort of, that was stupid.
Not really.
It's kind of easy to pick a spec. With him, it's sort of like, well, they're all sort of the same, but they're so slightly different. It's weird.
I wanted that challenge for that one badass, right?
Just walk across the... But no, this one we do have to lift up.
But essentially with this one, the very first thing I do is when I damage people, I get a stack of Bloodthirst, and later on, and each stack of Bloodthirst increases my clip size, so that's pretty nice. And then on top of that, for every stack of Bloodthirst I get the few extra points down, a little bit ways down, it does a damage reduction while I'm in my rage mode.
It's going to be a big... You're the... You can't avoid that.
Only problem with Bloodthirst is they do continuously count down. So it's not like Anarchy for the Necromancer where, you know, as long as you don't reload or die, you're good. This one, it's pretty continuous. Oh, ow. Fire bang!
You sound like you're in agony.
A little bit.
Fire burn. Delicious.
And that's just another thing. Like it's things that are so simple like this that can really just make a game just funny. I mean, it is a porta potty that is a loot chest, and when you open it, it just goes, and it's just great.
It's the most disgusting sound in the entire world.
I told you what would happen! Open your...
Do 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 do. Just remember, Cripple, he powdered his cockatoo for the ribcage slaughter.
He tries so hard. he feels at it miserably, but he tries. He tries so hard.
No, don't do it!
Grind the cartilage. That kind of just sounds really painful.
Anything he does sounds bad.
I won't die today. Not while I still have
What the f- You just screamed organic arm jabbers.
He ain't normal, son.
Organic arm jabbers. So fist? Is that what you're trying to say there? Fist? Turn around, pretty lady.
I hate this part so bad.
You're not stopping me!
Am I?
Smartest thing you've done all day!
Ah, what an unlikely symbiotic relationship. Two deadly creatures cooperating to survive this harsh environment. Also, the midget looks like a little human backpack, and that's funny.
It is funny. Oh, ow, that didn't last long. Where'd he go? Oh, there he is. Hey, buddy.
It's beginning to bleed.
What are you doing to me?
Why aren't you stabbing me, Cripple? God,
I don't.
you're a bad friend, apparently. That's...
No, don't do it!
That is a beefy midget, man.
Wonderful!
You sure do like Ellen.
Studies on bullymong social structures. Return to the boundary borders as early as convenient.
I'll definitely take that.